I'm asking you what your name is.
Shakira.
Okay, is that your name?
Shakira. You can call me Shakira.
Shakira what?
Shakira Flabbergasted. I have food in my car! I have food in my car!
You need to calm
I
down.
have food in my car!
Ma'am, you need to sit in. Why are you yelling? Okay, well, you're not going anywhere.
I'm not going
Chris,
anywhere!
get over here.
I'm not going anywhere!
Well, you keep running around. Sit down.
We need to get here now. These cops they're pinning me to a corner.
Ma'am,
The cops are trying to arrest me!
Kayla,
They're
we're
trying
not
to
here to
arrest
arrest you.
Mom, I'm gonna f***ing kill myself.
Why are you
Don't
freaking out?
talk to me! Oh my god!
Kayla.
I can't fix this!
Okay. Kayla, get out of the street.
No!
Welcome back to another episode of Dreading, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Today we are going to be revisiting the case of Shakira Flabbergasted, aka the woman who was arrested for calling the police on her boyfriend simply to scare him. After her first video, we got a plethora of comments demanding that we review her second time on police body cam after a small car accident. And so who are we to deny our patrons and subscribers? These videos tend to provide a nice break from the hours of research into some of the worst true crime cases. So, I have to say thank you to every person who supports this specific content. As always, if there's a video you would like to see, or a case you want more attention brought to, you can let me know by emailing me at dreading.official@gmail.com. I'm still consistently going through the inbox, adding your suggestions to the list of stories to research, and I promise that I'll do my best to cover the cases respectfully. We have a list of over 2,000 cases that have been sent in, so it may take some time, but I am trying. This footage was made public by the channel Lens of the Law Police Body Cam videos, and the original upload sans commentary will be left in the description box down below, alongside a link to their Buy Me a Coffee account. If you like their content, I highly recommend checking them out and throwing some support their way. This video is brought to you by Aura. When I was a kid growing up living with my parents, I personally witnessed them get thousands of spam calls and emails from people trying to ascertain their personal, private information. Every day they would get email after email, swearing that they were someone related to the family in need of money, or a private firm that needed their social security to get by. Thankfully, they never fell for these spam calls, but knowing that there were people willing to scam them out of their earnings always struck me the wrong way, obviously, and I can never figure out how these people got my parents' numbers. That is, until recently. You might not realize, but there are companies out there called data brokers that collect and sell your personal information. They do this without your permission and make billions by handing it over to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. The good news? They are supposed to remove your information if you ask, but they often make the process frustrating and complicated on purpose. That is why I use and recommend Aura to my family and friends. Aura handles the tricky part for you, automatically removing your data from these sites and helping keep it off for good. It's simple, easy, and gives you peace of mind. I personally got Aura for some of my family members, even the ones who have no idea what it is or how it's protecting them, because I didn't want to see any of them fall for those scam calls. Aura is like having a full security team in your back pocket. You might already have some digital protection, but without Aura, it's like locking your front door and leaving the back one wide open. With Aura, you get instant alerts if your info shows up on the dark web, real-time fraud notifications for your credit and bank accounts, 24/7 identity monitoring to catch threats before they become disasters. All-in-one tools like a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and more. Friendly US-based support ready to help anytime, day or night. So if the worst happens, Aura's got your back, with up to $5 million in identity theft insurance and real experts to guide you through recovery. One simple app, every layer of protection, and total peace of mind. Everyone can benefit from using Aura, especially when data breaches happen at a higher rate than ever before. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable, and neither should you. If you're interested in trying it out, Aura is offering my channel's viewers a 14-day trial, which you can access by going to aura.com/dreading. In those 14 days, you'll see just how much of your data is online without your consent and how quickly Aura can get it off. Again, go to aura.com/dreading. That way you can properly be protected. I want to say thank you to the sponsors like Aura for continuing to support the channel, even when YouTube itself does not. And with all of that said, let's get into the video.
On September 25, 2023, in Marshfield, Wisconsin, officers responded to a minor traffic crash involving a flabbergasted female.
Address Marshfield, 2015 Honda Civic.
The car! The car!
Yellow marked
Why are you? Get away from me!
So, if you have watched our previous video, Shakira, whose real name is Kayla, is once again showing an aversion to anyone being near her. From the body cam alone, we can see that neither the other woman nor the police officer is crowding her. No one is crowding her, and no one is so close that they pose a threat, or can be accurately described as a problem. But because people are approaching her at all, wanting to discuss what just happened, she reacts as if she's being mobbed. In the previous incident, she did this with the police, waving them off and wildly gesticulating, even though she was far from being crowded. This is likely a small and ineffective way to try and gain some control over the situation she's found herself in. She immediately jumps to victimizing herself and trying to make it seem that she is in a vulnerable position. That way everyone around her will be more amenable to her demands. Of course, that doesn't happen in most cases, but she doesn't seem to realize that. Kayla is frantic once again, repeating that her car has been destroyed and loudly calling attention to herself. But the damage to her vehicle seems fairly cosmetic and not so terrible. Like before, she has found herself in a less than ideal situation, one that plenty of average people have found themselves in daily. And instead of handling it rationally like an adult, she's making everything harder than it needs to be. Getting into a car accident, no matter how big or small, is obviously something that a lot of people want to avoid. But it does happen. It's stressful. It throws a wrench into your life in various ways, and it tends to make the person responsible feel foolish and incapable. However, if no one is seriously injured and can walk away with their lives, that's all that matters. If you ever find yourself in a car accident, the best thing you can do for yourself is to verify that you aren't harmed. Check on the occupants of the other vehicles that were in the accident, swap insurance information, and take photos for posterity. It also doesn't hurt to call the police, so you can get a third-party accounting of what occurred just in case. It's in your best interest to stay calm, because everyone involved in the accident will likely be on edge or in some sort of shock. As we mentioned in the previous video with Shakira, letting one's emotions get the better of them is a very negative habit to get into, especially if you're an adult who wants to be taken seriously. The world isn't a safe or kind place, and things go wrong all the time. You're going to experience things that upset, anger, or frighten you, but you always benefit from thinking before speaking, and not letting those emotions control you. Shakira doesn't seem to have learned that though, and appears to operate solely on how she feels at the time. She has already justified her negative behavior based on her feelings, meaning that anything she does or says in this situation is okay, simply because she was upset. It's extremely immature and makes her seem radically unintelligent. It also forces the other car's occupants into a position where they are almost forced to cater to her in this ordeal. Just from how the cars are positioned and how she has repeated that her car sustained damage, she is probably the one at fault for the fender bender. She hit the larger truck, so it would make sense for her to be approached by the other driver in order to get their insurance information. But even though she caused the accident, she is at fault. She refuses to handle the issue like a mature adult, the way everyone over the age of 16 is expected to once they obtain their driver's license. She instead lashes out like a child. She's lucky that the person she hit can regulate their emotions, because her response could have easily escalated the situation into a fight between her and the person she hit. But let's see how this plays out.
You're fine. Who's involved in the accident?
From what I gathered is her. She rear-ended him because he was sitting at a light that was green, and then I'm trying to talk to her and just calm her down, and she's like, "Officer, I have to go!"
We are now learning that the woman in the gray shirt, calmly informing the officer of what happened, was not a part of the accident at all. She is just a bystander who was trying to calm Shakira down, like when her boyfriend tried to come to her aid after mistaking her screams for being attacked by the police. This person felt inclined to help her because she cannot seem to process things the way a rational adult would. Unfortunately, this is probably why the behavior has continued for as long as it has. Instead of feeling any sort of shame or embarrassment over her actions, at some point in her life, she associated this kind of immature overreaction with getting others to do her bidding, and so she's never stopped. She has never been forced to engage like an adult, and therefore doesn't. That being said, she acts so irrationally at this point, I doubt there is any real hope for her to eventually learn how to maturely advocate for herself in stressful situations. The amount of work she would have to be willing to do to move away from this behavior isn't insignificant, and it's very rare that people choose to do that for themselves. At the end of the clip, she begins to approach the officer, screaming that she has to go, which is almost like a catchphrase for her. Somehow there is always somewhere more important she has to be, and everybody else is keeping her from completing these very pressing tasks. But once again, she is the reason that this situation isn't being resolved. Car accidents are scary, but unless a vehicle is totaled and cannot be moved, or a person is grievously injured, exchanging information, taking photos, and making a police report shouldn't eat up too much of one's time. In this case, it's a very small fender bender, with the person who is at fault taking the majority of the damage. So this entire issue could have been resolved in 10-20 minutes max, but her refusal to calm down and engage with anyone without screaming in their face has once again led to more time being wasted.
You can't leave yet. Don't leave!
I'm in the middle of an order!
Again, the officer tells her in no uncertain terms that she cannot leave the area, to which she immediately tries to get back into her car and leave. She deliberately disobeys this order and disrespects him, which is absolutely not the way you should engage with the police. Regardless of how you feel about the cops, if you are in a situation where you have to speak to them, give clear and concise answers to their questions, and heed their instructions. They can make your life and the situation you have found yourself in more difficult than it needs to be, so just complying as best you can is the best thing you can do for your own well-being. But Shakira acts against her own self-interest. In her mind, her wants and needs supersede any authority figure and anything that someone else in this situation might need. Last time she spoke with police, she was arrested and, seemingly, that arrest caused her to lose her job. She is now driving for Uber Eats or DoorDash, and is stressed about completing this order. Based solely on the comments on the initial video, this kind of follow-through is rare for someone delivering from these apps. There are also comments pointing out that if you report that you got into an accident as a driver and show evidence, like photos or video, they won't negatively penalize you and will send someone else to pick up the order instead. I'm unsure how accurate this actually is, but based on how lucrative these services are, chances are they have a system in place in case this happens, meaning that once again, this reaction is unnecessary. But moving on.
I have food in my car! I have food in my car!
You need to calm
I have
down.
food in my car!
Ma'am, you need to calm
I have
down.
food in my car!
Stand over here.
Leave me alone. Babe, you need to get here. You need to fucking get here.
You can go.
Kayla, what
Get
happened?
here now! Because these cops are pissing me the fuck off!
Kayla,
All she has to say is that she saw the light was green and hit the gas, thinking that the car in front of her was moving, and then accidentally hit them. She gave the other driver her information, documented the damage done to both cars, and that the police involvement is not necessary. Had she said that, she would be able to leave the situation without issue, but instead she walks around, paces the sidewalk as if she's itching to hit something or someone, and screams into the phone about how the cops are pissing her off. She is obviously behaving irrationally here, and the officer would not be at fault for believing she was on drugs or otherwise impaired. Her actions could lead to her being detained or arrested, something she obviously would not want to happen, but she doesn't see it that way. From her perspective, because anyone wants to ask her anything, they are being aggressive towards her. She is allowed to react to them however she sees fit, but if someone so much as asks her a question, that's too much.
you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere.
No!
Alright, Kayla, you're gonna be detained. You're gonna be detained.
Stop!
Why are you running away?
Right! He wouldn't fucking let.
Hey.
There was a green light!
There's
And he didn't go!
an axe.
That doesn't mean you just hit the car. Maybe he hadn't noticed the light changed. Maybe his car was experiencing a mechanical problem. Or maybe he was deliberately fucking with her because he thought it would be funny because she's silly. No matter why he didn't move at the light, that doesn't make her hitting his car okay, and that doesn't make her reaction here warranted. And because she is reacting so poorly, making multiple attempts to get back in her car and flee the scene, the officer states he's going to detain her. It should also be noted that no one is having any issues with the other driver. His car was hit. He is the one who's been wronged in this scenario, and all he has done thus far is sit calmly in his car while she rages. He has refused to engage with her antics, like a rational, mature adult.
Why are you yelling? Why are you freaking out?
Because I'm in the middle of work! Please, I have to go to work!
Okay, well, you're not going anywhere.
I'm not going
Chris,
anywhere!
get over here.
I'm not going anywhere!
Well, you keep running around. Sit down.
We need to get here now. These cops they're pinning me to a corner.
Ma'am, we're trying to gather information so we can get you out of here.
In the last video, her boyfriend sprang into action when he thought she was being attacked by the police. She had been screaming in the hallway, and instead of looking outside and seeing what was happening, he jumped out of the door, hands raised like an old-timey boxer, and he yelled he was going to fuck them up. She provoked that response, but it was still his responsibility to verify what was happening before he stepped in. But in this instance, she is on the phone, most likely to him, and she lies. She told him that the cops have her pinned in a corner and that he needs to get there soon to protect her. So she is deliberately mischaracterizing what is happening in order to escalate the situation, which would only serve to land her boyfriend or husband in prison. She's lying about the police violently attacking her. We've been watching what's happened, and no one has touched her. This is malicious and incredibly dangerous. The last time she was in this position, her partner was tased, but apparently his health and well-being doesn't matter to her.
Okay?
Kayla.
My car is f***ed.
Kayla.
My car is f***ed. I need to see if it's gonna start.
No. You're not
I
getting
need
in
to
the
see if it. I'm not.
You're not getting
Then
in the
can you start
You're
it?
getting detained
No,
right now.
please. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
gonna get
sorry.
detained.
I'm sorry. Please,
Stop
please
yelling.
get here, please.
We've said this countless times, but she's acting like a child that's gone all rubber bones, because their mother told them they couldn't have a candy bar while they were checking out at the grocery store. So here she sits on the side of the road, screaming, like said child. This is such an irresponsible and frankly embarrassing way to act.
The cops are trying to arrest me.
Kayla, we're not here to arrest you.
I will say, there's always a point in these videos where it feels like I'm watching The Office or something. She's behaving like a child again. Meanwhile, the cops are looking at the camera like Jim. Nothing they have done has provoked this response. Even if you wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, the officers have just been trying to talk to her about what's going on. She has screamed in their faces, lied about them attacking her, and sat on the side of the road pouting.
Kayla, you can't.
Kayla, can we sit over here, please?
Please, no.
Kayla,
Get here now, please.
we just have to conduct
Get
an
here
accident
now.
investigation, okay?
Get here now.
This could be solved very
Fuck
quickly.
off. I
Kayla.
didn't fucking do anything. I didn't do anything.
Kayla, get out of the
do
street.
anything.
Get out of the
I
street.
didn't do anything wrong.
By walking in the street and not just talking to the police calmly, she has become a public nuisance, meaning that the police would be well within their rights to arrest her. Because she refuses to cooperate and maturely advocate for herself, she ends up breaking the law and making her life exponentially worse. Again, all she has to say was, I hit his car because he didn't go at a green light. It was my fault. So we swapped insurance information. Thank you for coming out. And then she could complete the order. But instead, she fakes that she is a victim of police brutality, sits in the middle of the street, and screams bloody murder.
Kayla, settle down.
I'm in front of my car is fucked. My life is over.
Her life is not over.
Why
Let's
did
just
you
gather
go?
up the information and get out of here.
It was great.
Pausing for a second again to note, the other driver has not engaged with Kayla, or at least we have not seen him engage with her. He has stayed in his car throughout this interaction, because he seemed to note that talking to her wasn't in his best interest. Despite that fact, she goes over to his car and begins screaming at him, blaming him for the accident when it was her fault. She hit him, he didn't back into her. He didn't force pull her car into his, like fucking Obi-Wan. She is responsible for what happened here, but she doesn't like how it makes her feel, so she deflects, again like Obi-Wan, blame as much as possible.
Kayla, we just have to do an accident investigation.
Oh no.
Kayla,
Oh no.
calm down.
Oh no. Oh no. Please, can you see if it starts for me?
Kayla,
Please,
we
can
can see
you
if it
just see if it
starts.
starts?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm not seeing shit. Mom, I just got into a car accident. My car's fucked.
Kayla, it's okay.
My car is
It's
fucked.
okay.
My car is fucked.
Is it leaking anything?
He had a green light and he wouldn't go.
Hey, Kayla, do you have insurance?
Off.
Okay.
My car is fucked. I'm fucked. Oh my god. My God. This car is perfectly fucking fine though.
At the end of the last video starring Shakira Flabbergasted, She was upset because she was the only person being arrested. Her boyfriend had tried to fight for her honor, but the responding officers didn't want to upset the child who was also present, and determined that he didn't need to be detained for his actions. That was explained to her a couple of times. However, she reacted negatively to that information. In her mind, the police weren't acting in the best interest of her child. They were picking on her and being unfair. She was being singled out for no reason, even though she was objectively at fault. And that same sentiment is here as well. Even though she hit the other, much larger vehicle, she is upset that her car is more damaged. She feels like it's not fair that his car isn't fucked up the way hers is, and therefore her continued tantrum is justified. It's an immature reaction, obviously.
Kayla, it's okay.
Oh my god!
It's okay.
Oh my god!
Kayla.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Take your log up, phone number for Jeremiah in the log.
He's at home. It doesn't matter. My car is ruined.
We're attaching, but
My car is ruined.
It looks drivable, Kayla. It looks drivable.
My car is ruined. Oh, f*** off. Why are you laughing?
I'm not.
He was. But the fact that she cannot see how her reaction is funny shows, at least to us, how genuine this display is. She doesn't feel any shame for how she is acting, even though most people would. In her mind, she's behaving the way any person would in this situation, and the police officer laughing at her is just being callous and uncaring. Her car also looks fine.
Mom, I'm gonna f***ing kill myself. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna f***ing kill myself. I'm done.
Okay, so she absolutely should not have said that. Because now, if the officers chose to put her in an involuntary mental health treatment order until they determine if she is a danger to herself, that would make the situation exponentially worse for her, obviously. Openly stating that you're going to kill yourself in front of the police is maybe the last thing you would want to do in this situation, especially if you have already shown some signs of emotional instability. This footage is less than 10 minutes long, and in 5 minutes, she has given the officers at least 3 separate reasons to detain her.
I'm done. This is insane.
Kayla, your radiator's fine.
Up. Kill yourself.
Your radiator's fine.
I'm gonna get a picture quick and I'm gonna get you out of here.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh my god.
Your radiator's not
Shut
punctured.
up.
You should be able to
Shut
drive
up!
it, so you're not leaving.
Do we have another unit coming?
Yeah, I got someone. I asked for
Oh
one.
my
I don't know who's
god,
coming
the
down.
light was green. It was green.
Screaming at the other driver doesn't change what happened. Again, she is trying to deflect any feelings of responsibility for the accident onto the other driver, because she knows that she was at fault and it makes her feel uncomfortable. It was an accident, one that most drivers have gotten into at some point in their life, and it can leave you feeling stupid. But as an adult, you should be able to feel stupid without needing to make people around you miserable and feel the same way.
We just gotta get some pictures.
No. No.
Well, there's no damage to his, it doesn't seem like. There's just damage to yours.
Yeah, I know. Great. Funny. Great. Get away from me.
This is how an accident...
Stop. Don't talk to me.
Kayla, why are you
Don't
freaking out?
talk to me.
Why are you freaking out?
Really not too much.
I'm so fucked. I can't fix this. I can't fix this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Kayla,
I can't fix this.
okay. Kayla, get out of the street.
No.
Get out of the road! Get out of the road!
Leave me alone.
Judy, get out of the road!
Leave me alone.
I'm not gonna leave.
Get the fuck out of my face.
If you keep yelling,
Leave me alone.
listen, if you keep yelling,
I
you
don't
won't hang
care.
up.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
It's a pretty simple accident investigation.
Fuck off.
Get-
I'm not doing
No,
anything.
you're not going on the road.
I'm not.
You're not gonna go on the road.
This is insane. This is insane. I can't believe it. Oh! Fuck you. You guys are fucking pricks.
No, they are not. We've reviewed cases where the cops are pricks, where they misuse their authority to make the lives of the people they are sworn to serve harder, simply because they can. And each time an officer has had to deal with Shakira, they have given her chance after chance, even when she objectively doesn't deserve it. The officers here are just trying to do their job. They want to record the accident, finish their report, and finish their patrols. They even attempted to comfort her about the damage done to her car, because she was extremely fatalistic about it. But given that they aren't bending to her whims and trying to make her act like an adult, she treats them as adversaries.
You get pictures, Chris?
No!
Do you have what you need for an accident report?
Yeah, we have what we need from the gentleman.
Okay. Do you want to tell us what happened?
No! The light was green and he didn't go!
Okay. Officer Berg will create accident report. You want the case number?
Yourself.
Okay. Do you have her current information?
Do you have insurance?
I'm not giving you anything.
Do you have insurance?
I'm not giving you anything.
Alright, well, we'll just give her a citation for no proof of insurance.
Okay, give me
That's
a citation. I don't care.
Fine. That's fine.
What am I getting a citation for?
I already explained it to you. I'm not going to sit here and debate with you.
Insurance card!
You told me, you just told me that I should kill myself and f*** you. That's what you told us. You have insurance, you were involved in an accident. You need to provide insurance.
I don't have the information.
Then who is it, Kayla?
I don't know.
Okay, would you like to give it to us at some point? You want to tell us what happened?
The light was f***ing green and my
you
tires
don't
are
have to
bald
get-
and I slid into his truck.
Okay, so now she hit his car because her tires are bald, and she just slid into his truck. Given that we're 8 minutes into this interaction, and this is the first time she is saying she slid into him, I doubt that that is the truth, but the accident would still be her fault. As a licensed driver, it's your duty to make sure your vehicle is in working order, and she didn't do that.
Okay,
Oh, that's more of an explanation than I got.
your tires are bald?
That's what Cheryl told me
Okay, when was that?
the other day.
Can you come off the road?
No, I want to get f***ing hit by a car.
Why?
I'm
Why? It's an accident.
I can't afford to fix this.
You probably don't have to fix it that much.
You guys are f***ing retarded. Straight up f***ing stupid.
Okay, I'm not gonna put up with that.
Alright,
I don't
good luck.
have an insurance card. My insurance is through a different state.
Through what? Okay, you can call Officer Berg tomorrow and let him know who your insurance is.
No,
Okay, well then, you will be cited for that.
that's fine.
Okay.
I don't care.
Alright.
This is mine.
Oh. I can take care of all the crash report stuff. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
So she rear-ended the car.
Yeah.
So, that ticket and then no insurance. Yeah, okay. Yeah, easy enough.
My goodness.
Kayla was charged with disorderly conduct for her behavior.
So that is where the footage ends. Kayla is a warning to the general public about what it looks like when a person refuses to take any personal responsibility for their actions, or deal with negative emotions maturely, and then reacts impulsively. Because of her own unwillingness to tackle any issue like an adult, she's been arrested 2 times that we are aware of, and her behavior at the scene always compounds the issue. If you engage with the world the way that Kayla does, it will feel like an unfair, terrible place, because you're making it that way. The best thing you can do for yourself is to process and learn to sort through your emotions. That way no one else gets hurt in the crossfire. It's not fun, it's annoying, and when you're dealing with someone who is emotionally immature, it can be taxing, but you should do everything in your power to not end up like Shakira Flabbergasted. So, if you've made it to this portion in the video, thank you so much for watching. Viewers like you allow us to create these videos full time, and it means the world to us. If you want to see more content, like, comment, and subscribe. If there's a video you would like to see on the channel, let me know by leaving a comment or emailing me at dreading.official@gmail.com. Have a great day, and remember, stay safe.